to any individual who will be able to provide details that will lead to the location of the individual in question, the person that recorded the video, and the individual seated watching the scene unfold. The reward will be provided after such claims have been substantiated and verified by the Ghana Police Service or the Social Welfare Department as true. Acts of such nature, unfortunately, are not absent in our society. Numerous children across the country face such abuse daily. This video is clear indication of a dent in child protection efforts in the country and must be tackled with all seriousness, and perpetrators of such acts must face the full rigors of the law. Please contact the number below if you have any information, and that is 030-2503-744 for your reward. Now, thousands of residents in Weja and Tetegu in the Weja-Gbawe municipality have fled their homes after the area was submerged due to spillage from the Weja Dam. Several properties have been lost as activities in the area have come to a standstill. Our reporter Obed Kengaglo was at the area and has filed the following reports.
Now, time check is 9:30 p.m. here in Tetegu, a suburb in the Weja municipality, where thousands of residents have been displaced due to the spillage of the Weja Dam. Now, I'm currently in a canoe trying to cross to the town to assess the situation. Now, residents have no place to sleep for the night and are worried.
So far, we've lost a lot of things, you know. I was in Tama working, and then I've heard that there's much water here, so I decided to come. When I just got to the bridge, I've heard that I've lost almost everything. The fridge, the water has got to the window level, so it's too bad. Just going to do watchkeeping. Maybe you can have thieves around trying to pick items, so I just have to watch over. I will not sleep.
For me, I will sleep here. Because they are properties to protect. But I'm making sure my family are out of this side. Then I can manage the night here. The situation is very terrible because this one is more than any other one that we've seen, and I blame the managers of the Weja Dam.
That's my family. I'm looking for a place for them tonight. You understand? Things that have got me gospel, what has taken away. I don't think it's necessary at this moment. We're looking for a guest house that we can pass the night. That we'll arrange probably tomorrow where to go.
We are just going to stand at the junction and call maybe our relatives to help us because we don't have anywhere going. We don't have anywhere. As we speak now, we don't have anywhere going.
I'm just coming from weekend, and I didn't hear any announcement whatsoever regarding a dam being opened or a dam being damaged. So I'm just returning at this hour after 10 p.m. to come and meet this disaster. I'm unable to reach home. I'm unable to assess the impact of the flood at my home at the moment because I'm the only resident at the house. So I will not be able to go home. My house, my property, everything, I'm unable to tell the status of it at the moment.
Let's now do other stories as the Media Foundation for West Africa is accusing the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice of failing the nation when it mattered most in the fight against corruption. According to the media organization, SHRAJ has not been able to uniformly apply the law on asset declaration in the country. This came to light at a public forum on fighting corruption organized by the Media Foundation for West Africa. Beringa Irene Duku has the following reports.
The Fourth Estate, a journalism project of the Media Foundation of West Africa, cited public officers in several infractions of the Public Declaration of Assets Law, Act Act 550 and Article 286 of the Constitution of Ghana. According to the Fourth Estate, the 6th and 8th Parliament recorded 7.2 and 35% compliance rate to the law that requires that they declare their assets. Speaking at the public forum on the declaration of assets by public office holders and the fight against corruption in Ghana, Manasseh Azura-Winning, editor-in-chief of the Fourth Estate, said, though Shraj has made some strides, the application of the law is not uniform.
There are certain individuals in this country who are very powerful, and the Constitution has made them so, but they have decided to become very powerless, and they fail the state when it matters most. And one of them is Shraj. I have had issues with Shraj. Shraj has done quite well in some of the cases that have gone before it, but in others, Shraj failed the nation. One of them has to do with the complaints against the Chief Justice.
Another major loophole identified at the forum is the absence of a verification mechanism. Justice Abdullahi, a private legal practitioner and academic, proposed that verification should be in the form of interrogation, tracing, and documentation.
There are no persons to chase and verify the existence or otherwise of the persons named and the existence or otherwise of the properties declared. If you have this kind of regime, what corruption are you fighting? Indeed, you are fighting absolutely nothing. If this is the kind of regime you've put in place to fight corruption, you are rather enhancing and promoting corruption with this kind of regime.
Experts believe that a lack of genuine commitment to implement the laws shoots down the anti-corruption agenda.
Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey has charged the Ghana Immigration Service to investigate the circumstance leading to the arrival of some 40 illegal migrants along the Achimota-Abofu Road in Accra. The minister revealed that he received a tip-off which suggested that the illegal migrants believed to be Nigerians were offloaded from a Cote d'Ivoire-bound bus at around 12 a.m. on Monday, October 4. There's more in the following reports.
The suspected migrants, numbering about 40 women and children, found along the Achimota N1 in Accra, are said to have been dropped from an Ivory Coast-bound bus at midnight on Monday. Residents believe they are from Niger. The Okankwe North Municipal Assembly was then given a tip-off of their presence in the area.
Quickly, I called the immigration and I also arranged for my task force and my city guards to come here to ascertain what is actually happening here. Before I got here, I realized that the people are really here. And so we are still waiting for the immigration people to come. That was the time I called the regional minister, and he's here already for us to take necessary action.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey was also informed of the incident upon visiting the area, told the media that the Ghana Immigration Service has been notified and that the ECOWAS protocols will be followed to deal with the development.
As a country that believes in free movements of persons, human rights, we will ensure that processes are followed to the latter. But in the meantime, we are keeping them. Immigration will come from them. Then the Interior Minister, Gender Minister, National Security Minister, Foreign Minister will take over.
Upon further investigations, the group led by a man and a woman, identified only as Medina, claimed they were en route to Cote d'Ivoire to sell medicines, but the driver abandoned them when they reached Achimota-Abofu. All of them had passports that indicated they were Nigerians, but they claimed to have not been checked at any security points. Meanwhile, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council has embarked on a decongestion and cleanup exercise in parts of Accra as part of the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiated by the minister early this year. Over 40 vehicles were impounded by the City Response Team Task Force during the exercise, while some women operating in front of open drains were ordered to clear the filth.
The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, says the activities of illegal mining is eroding the benefits accruing to the nation from projects executed with oil revenues. The committee mandated to ensure that the use of proceeds from the petroleum industry says the tendency of persons involved in illegal mining looking out for their personal gain to the detriment of the national interest will lessen the impact of oil projects in the country. PIAC is calling on all mining Ghanaians to protect oil projects so that investments can be made in other sectors of the economy.
The attitude of Ghanaians is also important, and this has a link to Galamsey. So oil money was used to invest into the building of the Enchi-Asankragua Road, for example. You may have heard of this road, Enchi-Asankragua Road. So much oil money went into that road. Recently, we have reports suggesting that Ghanaians who are into Galamsey are now digging beneath that road for gold. And now the road has caved in. Yes, wow. you would have seen this report recently, not more than 2 months, 3 months ago. And you have invested so much into a road that should benefit today's generation and tomorrow's generation, and somebody out of his own personal, gains decided to go and dig beneath that road and such a road caving. What it means is that you need more money to reconstruct that road. Money that should have gone into education, money that should have gone into, waterborne, providing waterborne for villages or the countryside, money that could have been used for other projects in this country. We now have to use that money to reconstruct a road that has been so well constructed, had been the envy of, so many other commentators, but only because of Galamsey, we have destroyed such a road. So the attitude of Ghanaians ourselves is also important. When we invest in a particular project, we need to be able to collectively protect that project because we know why we have invested in it.
Now, to fully realize the impact and judicious use of petroleum revenues in the country, Chairman of the Oil and Gas Committee of the Association of Ghana Industries, Kwame Jantua, says the Public Interest and Accountability Committee must be given prosecutorial powers to deal with the wastage evidenced in the use of oil proceeds. Speaking earlier on GHToday, the former Vice Chair of PIAC said, "We joke with oil money as a country."
The Petroleum Revenue Management Act, PRMA, provides the framework for the collection, management of petroleum revenue in a responsible, accountable, and sustainable manner for the benefit of Ghana in accordance with Article 36 of the 1992 Constitution and for related matters. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, was established under Section 51 of the PRMA to, among others, monitor and evaluate compliance with the Act. The committee was inaugurated and commenced work on 15 September 2011. Since Ghana began the export of oil in January 2011 from the Jubilee Field, PIAC has kept to its mandate. However, after 10 years of oil, a lot has been asked over the impact of the $8.09 billion petroleum revenue from 2011 to date. Eric, therefore, who is a member of PIAC, attributed the situation to the thin spread of oil proceeds in numerous projects. According to him, duty bearers must strive to commit oil proceeds to legacy projects for the citizenry to see how the government utilizes the revenue raised.
It's not that the money has not been used for projects, but it's been so thinly spread that we can't feel the impact. So if the duty bearers who are selecting projects for which they want to spend oil revenues can identify 1, 2, 3 projects, major projects, and then decide to target the funds to those projects, whether it's in health, whether it's in roads, whichever priority areas they select, I think nationally we will feel the impact. We will see the outcomes better than we are having now.
Chairman of the Oil and Gas Committee of the Association of Ghana Industries, Kwame Jantua, believes PIAC, although has done well in the past in ensuring that there is judicious use of petroleum receipts, they need to be given prosecutorial powers to deal with persons who misuse oil revenue to avoid wastage.
We have joked with oil revenue, we have joked with mining revenue. When are we going to put things in a better shape to stop us from going out there with a begging bowl to beg for money? If PIAC could have prosecutorial powers to prosecute those institutions that are playing havoc with our revenues, it would be great. If PIAC had a direct relationship with the special prosecutor, direct relationship with the Attorney General, could put Finance Minister and all those people who are misusing the oil revenue to court. Fantastic.
Ghana made $747 million from oil from January to June 2022, and undistributed receipts brought forward to 2022. Of this, 183 million was allocated to the annual budget funding amount ABFA for 4 priority areas: agriculture, critical infrastructure and service in education and health, industrial development, and the Public Interest and Accountability Committee.
Government has hinted that the new producer price for the 2022-2023 cocoa crop season will be announced this week. Cocoa farmers who gathered for the climax of the 2022 Cocoa Day celebration at Suhum were disappointed when the representative of the Minister for Agriculture, Dr. Akoto Osei, failed to announce the new producer price for the next season.
The cocoa farmers who were gathered at a derby in Suhum in the eastern region to climax the 2022 Cocoa Day celebration were disappointed after a representative of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture failed to announce a new producer price for the 2022-2023 crop season. Some of the farmers said the late announcements of producer prices have always been to their disadvantage, as some purchasing clerks with money buy the cocoa beans and hoard them for the new market price at their expense.
On to my on my enquasro. Yes, price no yes, almost farm rantam. Some of the bantam quite for no. Some of farm rantam, both in Pennyfona, no more Fescano, the Atoko Kono, Nequia for no bread. It's your best as anchor price, never rantam, Nequia for no any fast work. We are for a bread. And to almost see, send yourself my bay, no more Sababe Trasso. Yes, Rabban saw my Mako school free, or some my job. Any never be Brabomans, yes, Ramsey, Omo and Omonkai and Mano, school Titsi, and a cocoa, so young girls award near Yana Mob.
Independent campaign and advocacy platform for civil society actors in the cocoa sector, the Ghana Civil Society Cocoa Platform, earlier suggested that Cocoa Board should announce an increase in the producer price of cocoa to 838 Ghana cedis from the current 660 Ghana cedis a bag for the 2022-2023 crop season. But Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture in charge of crops, Yao Frimpong Adu, urged the cocoa farmers to be patient for the Producer Price Review Committee to make a determination of the new producer price for the crop season.
The expectations of farmers and industry stakeholders is that a new price of cocoa will be announced as well as the opening day of the season. However, discussions with stakeholders at the PPRC, the expectation is that some good news to our hard-working farmers will be announced early next week.
This year's Cocoa Day celebration was on the theme Cocoa Board at 75, sustaining our environment, wealth and health.
Let's move to one of our headline stories as two young men suspected to be thieves have been tortured and shot at for allegedly attempting to rob a Galamsey site at Denchira in Kontimso in the Upper Denchira West District of the Central Region. As much as these accused men tried to explain their mission at the site, people around wouldn't have any of that and subjected them to severe beatings. In the ensuing melee of a member of the angry mob, who is said to be the Imrantiahini of Nkontimso, pulled a gun and shot at the legs of one of the accused. The chief and his people were holding guns, knives and other weapons and stripped the two suspects naked while beating them. Unconfirmed reports gathered by GHOne News Yabwejan suggested that the police in the area affected the arrest of Chinese nationals and few others who work on the Galamsey site where the incident occurred. Well, thank you for watching. That was GHToday News with me, Evelyn Araba Edu. Do stay tuned for GHToday, which comes up shortly with Sewami here.